If you perfectly followed everything that Jesus tells you to do as a Christian, then you would be an angel. Welcome to day 247 until I'm a YouTube millionaire. Now, what makes us human beings, what makes us creatures with free will in the human being sense, is that we still have not made one fundamental decision. And that one fundamental decision that separates the demonic from the angelic. That decision is whether we choose to live in a path of love or live in a path of fear. Now, it has been said that the opposite of love is not anything other than indifference. Generally speaking, I'd say I agree with that. However, fear, I think, is even more accurate. Indifference comes from a fear that you are not capable of making any difference anyway. So you don't even try. So fear, therefore, is the prime cause, the thing of which indifference is the derivative. That being said, everything that is the derivative of love is still of love. So, service is a derivative of love. Protection is a derivative of love. Protecting your ability to choose, as long as it's not between those two things, well, even between those two things, frankly, is love. Freedom is a derivative of love. Liberty, a derivative of love, etc. If you perfectly follow everything that Jesus tells you to do, truly in love, the meaning of life being to love, and he tells you to love one another as your prime commandment, the new commandment. How you love is your personal pattern overlaid on top of loving. So how you live your life, the signal that you produce, that is that love. If you make that prime decision to go with love as opposed to fear, then your intent is to follow that thing. And it will be borne out. So everything that you do, God works it for good. He will shape the world around you, depending on how much of an impact you personally have, how important you personally are, in order to accomplish that end state, which is the true expression of complete and total unconditional love, and destruction of everything apart from that. The true definition of being in hell is to be apart from God, incapable of love, incapable of understanding it, incapable of expressing it. So, if you fully followed precisely what Jesus tells you to do, then everything you do around that is with the main objective, the mission of fulfilling that prime directive of love. It all shapes itself around it. Your intent will shape it around you, and Jesus will shape everything around you as well. The more of a prime node you are, the bigger you are in the grand scheme of things, the more important you are to his grand strategy, the more he will shape around you. It may be that you have to follow the path of martyrdom, and that is because he has yet to be able to reconcile your survival with the rest of the strategic plan. And to that point, I was just watching Father Mike Schmidt in his sermon today. It is the 3rd of August, 2025. He was talking about a prayer that he is most terrified by. And essentially, it is memento mori, memento Dei, which is remember you die, remember that you have died, already died, and remember God. So that means all things happen simultaneously, and if you die once, you always die. But that is because there's no such thing as time. And the end state, which is the end of time, as Jesus tells us in Revelation, when we finally get back to God, our origin, with our family, that's going to be the end of time. Therefore, all things happen simultaneously. So remember, you have already died. But in addition to that, as you are baptized, if you are baptized in a Christian faith, then your fealty has been sworn to Jesus. And that baptism is the death of the previous you, the one that was not sworn fealty to Jesus. And past that, you are reborn. Remember we die, remember we have already died. Even then, the martyrs that have been baptized and follow Jesus' strategic plan, if they are martyred, they already know that they have died. They are to die. And all of us pass away eventually. And if we pass away before that end time, we go back with Jesus. And the end time is the collapse, the convergence between heaven and earth. Right there. It's where the demon is finally dispatched. If we follow everything that Jesus tells us to do perfectly, which is one thing, to love one another, then he can use us. And if we actually listen to what he tells us to do without any objection, and even frankly, for the most part with objection, he can still work around you, you are an angel. And when that end time comes, every human being that is serving Jesus, and it'll be more and more clear as time goes on who and what that person is, then they're angels too. And all of those that are still opposed to him, knowing who and what he is, or whoever, will by definition be demons. It's that final clash. That final clash that is the same battle between Michael and Satan in Genesis as the battle between Michael and Satan in Revelation, because all things are happening simultaneously. It's the same battle. And we, therefore, because we still haven't made that decision, are proto-angels, primordial angels, or primordial demons for those who decide to go the other way, which I honestly believe after that end time, the primordial demons will actually be erased. They won't exist anymore. Not to us. They'll be in the tier room. The memories of who and what they were will be resigned solely to the tier room. They will not be in your conscious mind unless you want to see it. And once you no longer want that to defile your perspective, you take it back out of your mind and you put it back in the tier room. So, those who follow Jesus' dictates perfectly are in fact angels. That's what I got for you today. Love you all. Amen. Peace.